Hi, welcome to the Craft Channel. My name's Corinne Brad, and today I want to show you how easy it is to make honeycomb Easter eggs. Just like the Christmas decorations you used to get when you were a kid, if you were my age. They are quite simply folded, cut and glued together ovals of card that fold flat for storage and then magically open up to form a honeycomb design. And then you can just hold them together with a paper clip and display them. You can add a loop of thread to hang them, and I'll show you how easy they are to make. They're a little bit time consuming. If you want to make several of these and you can set yourself up a production line, what you can do is you can work on one bit while the glue is drying on another bit. And if you've ever seen any of my demos, you know that I never bother letting the glue dry. So I've got it in a part work for you today. There'll be a template in the description below. And quite simply, what you need is A6 pieces of coloured bond paper. I wouldn't suggest you use anything thicker than about an 80 gram, because what you need to do is the paper needs to be able to wave. You can do them with tissue paper. They are a bit of a nightmare because obviously your glue will soak through the tissue, and if you're not really careful you may end up just having a whole wad of paper folded together, glued together. But each of your A6 pieces of paper you want to fold in half lengthways, nice crisp fold, grab your template and draw around it. And then you need to cut around that design. And to save time, I would try doing 3 or 4 pieces of folded paper together. Don't try and do more than that unless you've got really strong hands. Clamp them with some clips and then simply cut along the line through all 8 layers of paper. So you've got your perfect egg shapes. Now what I've done with these eggs is I've mixed up the colours, and I've used quite a lot of white ordinary photocopier paper to bulk it out so you're not using so much of your coloured paper. But you can do them all the same colour, you can just use 2 colours. But what you will need, I think, is probably 36 of these ovals as a minimum to get a nice rounded shape without risk of the glue tearing. So here are some that I have made earlier. And your first step is going to be to glue inside these folds. So with the template, I will give you also a guide. I need some tape to stick this down with. Hold on. In fact, I'll do it this way round. If I can find the end of my tape. So quite simply, this guide is the outer of where I cut my original egg-shaped template from. Oh, do you know what? Let's line it up actually on the cutting mat. And what I've done is I've marked the centre point of the egg and then 4 centimetres either side of it. And these are the marks that you want to put your glue onto. I'd use a decent tacky PVA. Take each egg, open it out and slip it inside the guide, and then you want to glue this about 1 centimetre in from the edge. So you just need a dot of glue there, there and there. Fold it over, put it to one side, and then repeat that for all of your folded pieces. So each fold is glued together 3 times. So that's a set of 6 different colours. Give them a squash to check that glue is sticking properly. And so, because I've got 6 colours here, I will need 6 sets of these 6 colours to make my 36 layers. Here's some that I have previously glued together. And when you've got your 36 layers, I mean there's only 18 here. When you've got your 36 layers, stack them all up, make sure they're all the right way round and you haven't got some that are just flipped over. So the top of your egg is on the same side for each one. And then again, clamp them either with a bulldog clip, or these sewing clips are really handy. Actually, before you clamp them, just check. Tamp them all down on one point. Hold on. Sewing clips. And then also, before you glue them, if you just take a craft knife and you just run a cross hatch of tiny cuts, not too deep, but just enough to provide a little bit of key for the glue, and run them in both directions. I can't see which way. Oh, yeah. This isn't imperative. If you don't fancy the idea, or if you're making it with kids and you don't really want them getting too close to their fingers with a craft knife, you don't have to do it. But I have just found that it does make adhesion much better. Then run a goodly amount of a tacky PVA down there. And then if you just grab something like Mod Podge and a brush and work it into the tiny gaps between each fold of paper. You don't have to press it down in there, but what you need to do is you need to make sure that it's going to stick together like the spine of a book. Just grab any excess glue from the edges. Try not to throw glue over everything else as you're working. And then just I would then just clamp on the edges here and leave it to dry. So while you're leaving that to dry, you can then get on with cutting your next set of ovals. But once it has dried, it should hold together like a book. And as I say, all of these same colour pieces are stuck together on those 3 points. So once you've done that, you need to find what you've done with your template. Flip it over onto the other side. And I've marked mine as different so that I know I'm sticking different colours to each other. And instead of gluing in the middle, I've glued 2 centimetres either side of the middle. So what they do is you've got 3, 2, 3, 2 as you're going along. And then if you open your book, lay it inside the template, and then just glue again, about 1 centimetre in. So I'm gluing green to white, and then I'm gluing white to yellow, and then once it has dried completely, as you open them, try not to overextend it as you open them. But if you do, and the glue comes apart in one area, it's a simple matter just to glue it again and fold it back up. That's the final step. And then press down on the whole stack, and again leave it to dry. But then once it has dried and your whole stack has been glued properly, what I'd recommend you do is cut yourself a couple of pieces of card that are half egg shaped and glue them onto the layers, because that's going to be where you're going to attach your paper clip, and you just want something that's a bit thicker. But what should happen is once everything's glued and you open it up, you see this honeycomb effect forming. And just pinch it at the back, grab a paper clip, or if you're going to have these as hanging decorations, you might just want to find coloured paper clips and clip it there as well so it looks better. And you've got your honeycomb egg. So it does take longer than I've implied it does here on this video, but if you're going to make several of them, you can carry on doing one step while another step is drying. And in all honesty, I would recommend that you let that glue dry for about 10 minutes before you move on to the next step, because there's nothing worse than taking it apart and then finding that it's split and you've got to re-glue it and wait another 10 minutes. So I hope you like that idea. As I say, the template will be in the description below, and there'll be a template both for the egg and also for the gluing guide. And don't use more than about 80 gram paper if you can avoid it, because the 80 gram has got enough flexibility in it that it allows the paper to wave, and it allows all of the pieces to wave equally. Try and avoid using different weights of paper in each egg, because what you'll find is some honeycombs will be wide, some will be really narrow, where the paper hasn't got enough give in it. Okay, there you go. Until then, please keep safe. We will see you again very, very soon. And if you get the opportunity to subscribe, then we can notify you whenever we've got a new video coming up. And hopefully you'll find something for any occasion or any mood that you're in to do. And the vast majority of our demonstrations are very easy to follow, even if you're a complete beginner. So please let us know what you think in the comments below. Until then, thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. If you've been inspired to create, please share your makes with us in the comments section below. And if you've enjoyed videos by the Crafts channel, hit the like button. Want to see more of us? Then click subscribe. See you next time.